Hey everybody, so for this video I want to talk about why it's important to stop putting people on a pedestal and at the risk of losing yourself, because whether that's your family, whether it's friends, whether it's people that you like or you're dating, we have a bad habit of thinking that they hold some power over us. We have this habit of thinking that we're so dependent on what they think that we can't separate that and kind of decentralize them from our lives. Like, we should be the center of our lives, not anybody outside of us. So what that really comes down to is being able to recognize like how people's behavior can cover up, insecurities, different traumas and things of that nature, and being able to take ownership of that to the point where you empower yourself instead of feeling disempowered or not realizing the difference between projecting your own issues onto what you're perceiving about others versus what they're actually doing to you. A lot of us are so used to kind of sweeping our pain under the rug and not taking responsibility for how we react to it. Instead, we'll just want to blame everybody else. And then when you do that, you take away your power, because if you're putting the responsibility on others, then that means that you're not able to resolve it, because if it's waiting for someone else to own up to something and then behave differently, like, you can't always control what people say or do. And even after you tell them or let them know about how something affected you, they still might be unbothered about it because, one, they don't care, or two, they don't realize that they even had that type of effect on you, which comes back to the fact that a lot of times we have these assumptions and perceptions of things which may not even be the case. Like, you have the facts of what happened, and then you have your interpretation of it, and then obviously if there are other people involved, that's their interpretation too. So you literally have so many different sides of the story just on the simple fact that just based off the simple fact that there's several people with their own perspectives and point of views of what they thought happened. And ultimately, it just comes down to your assumptions of other people and the power they hold in your life. Like, if you give people the power to make you feel upset or make you react, like, nobody can literally get in your body and make you feel some type of way. Like, you're feeling those things yourself. You might have been conditioned and be kind of unaware of the fact that you have these expectations and thoughts about people and assumptions about people, but that's still on you. And you can also change that so that people show up differently, or at least if people show up in an undesirable way, you could walk away without having your peace disturbed, because like, one, I have respect for myself. I don't tolerate that. If I let something be known and they still don't change, I could walk away knowing I said what I had to say and not need anybody to change or not feel bad about sticking to my standards or whatever. But especially when it comes to dating, we have this habit of putting the person that we're attracted to on a pedestal, so we'll feel like we're not good enough, or because they're attractive that we can't really compete for their attention, or just something about us not being good enough for the people that we like. Because I know I've had that issue too, and I had to realize, like, obviously a lot of times we'll be in situations where it's clear that the person likes us, because why else would they be talking to you? Yet you'll still find things wrong, or you'll still hold the assumption that they're judging you or whatever, or they're thinking that they're not interested in you, and they could literally just be busy with their day-to-day life or whatever, and have nothing to do with their feelings for you, but you're internalizing it and making it a problem. Like, if you don't hear from somebody, or if they're not hanging out with you, like, you can't read people's minds. They could be thinking about you all day long but never actually sent a text or never actually made that phone call, but you're here thinking that silence or not seeing any type of action means that nothing's happening in the background. A lot of us have that habit of making assumptions about things that we can't see, and we automatically assume it's a negative thing, but that's not always the case. And I feel like if you could take away needing any type of outside validation and just know that you're worthy, you're confident, the person wouldn't have wanted to talk to you if they weren't interested in you, and things could unfold in ways that you're not capable of being aware of, especially maybe if it's things that you haven't been used to being exposed to, or experiences that you haven't really had the best partners who treated you well, so you don't really have nothing to base it off of. But I think it's just important to know that you're the main character. Like, everyone revolves around you. It's your reality. So if you don't even like focusing your attention on yourself, or you feel like you need to constantly have validation and assurances, you really need to work on assuring yourself to the point where you don't need it, but it'll just be a natural byproduct of you standing in that identity as someone who naturally gets treated the way that they desire to be treated effortlessly. Like, it'll just be second nature for whoever it is to treat you well because they love doing it. It feels good to them, and you don't even have to ask. But that comes with you building that expectation of people. So it's really just reflecting on if you are used to putting people ahead of yourself just for that validation, or because you never really had that foundation to be secure in yourself. I think that's really what it comes down to, and making sure that you're aware of whatever expectations you have when it comes to people, because it can be intimidating. You feel like you're not connecting with people, and then you're worrying, and all this anxiety and stuff can come up, but it's not necessary. I think we just need to build this culture of knowing who we are, knowing what we're worth, and it just be a natural byproduct of our identity that we get treated how we want to be treated. I think that's all I have to say for this, but yeah, just for me, I know that I've always felt like I wasn't good enough, so it would just be me focusing externally, and then coming from that state of mind when you feel like you're not good enough, you're going to be looking at everything outside of you and judging that as more reasons for you not to be good enough, or just having the assumption that because this didn't go the way that I wanted, it means I'm not good enough. And then you're stuck in a cycle of, I'm not good enough, this isn't going the way that I want it to be, and I don't know how to change that. And then you just stuck in not feeling good, and then you continually see things in a negative way, and you're not even realizing that your own perception is the only reason that things keep having that effect on you in your life. So I felt like I was always kind of scared to put myself first or accept myself, and now I'm trying to just understand what that feels like to be in that state of acceptance completely. And it's not something that we should have to try. It really just comes naturally as a byproduct of no longer resisting the things in your life and no longer having judgments about things. But yeah, I think I'll probably talk more about this topic maybe in February, because with Valentine's Day I'll probably want to focus on love as a theme for that month. But I have a couple other videos that I'll probably put out before then, especially if I get good feedback on this and people want to hear more insights or perspectives on it. So yeah, just reflecting on that for the holiday season, to not be ashamed to put the focus on yourself, because when you focus on yourself, you're radiating who you are, you're happy, you're in love with your own life. Naturally, you'll have people and things and situations come into your life that reflect who you're being and how you feel. So it's just important to focus on yourself. And then when you do more of that, people will naturally want to focus on you too. And they'll be attractive and just interested in you when you're interested in you. So just leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. You know what to do. And thank you guys for watching. I know that's kind of an awkward way to end it. Still working on my endings, don't judge me. But I hope you guys liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.